Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. Got some sad news. My friend Jerry Petty, I just found out died. She's only 41 years old, and I don't know what happened to her. I just did a story on my Facebook. I'm going to read to you. She had told me some information that I normally wouldn't share, but since now that she's no longer alive, I think it needs to come out. and I don't have this. I have some conversations with her recorded. Actually, I do because I believe that she knew about the underground homes here. Because several times she would say different things like, "Well, don't you think it'd be cool if you could go underground and play poker? Wouldn't that be fun?" Oh, nobody said there wasn't underground homes here. She said that about 100 times. And I said, no, there's no report of underground homes on the police report, and the police report was falsified. That's the point. But obviously Jerry knew about the underground homes where the gambling was going on. I'm going to read this to you. It is amazing. Okay. And then show you a few pictures. Hacking secrets. It's short. My friend recently died. Jerry was a Facebook friend that recently died at 41. I don't know how she died, but I know she told me about some things on the last few times I talked to her, which were very concerning. I can't say that I knew her very well, but I had been to her home about a half dozen times. I met her daughter and her best friend Zach, who is a lawyer in Odessa. She had offered to take me on vacation anywhere that I wanted, but I told her that I don't leave my home due to the crimes here. I don't know if she was a real investigator or an amateur, but I know she was deeply involved in the Jasmine case, which is the 15-year-old Midland girl that recently died under a lot of controversy. My understanding is the family believes Jasmine was raped and assaulted before she died, which is murder, but the detective on the case was Rosie Rodriguez, who claimed it was consensual sex that killed her. It seems like some paperwork went missing. Some people have suspected that somebody with money doesn't want the truth to come out about what really happened to Jasmine. Many people around town have talked about this case. Rosie is the same dirty cop who tampered with evidence and lied on police reports in the home invasion and premeditated capital murder attempt on my life. She seems to be the go-to dirty cop that would do anything to anybody, a sociopath police officer who could care less about the law and without any conscience. I remember Jerry also telling me that she got into a screaming match with Chief of Police Seth Herman about this case she was very passionate about. Herman had blocked my emails after I provided him crime evidence. He's known about the crimes here a long time. She told me several times that she was a hacker, but I took that comment with a grain of salt since I'm a 20-year IT guy. I took care of a computer network. I later found out that she had some software that she called Sniper that automated the hacking so the person doing the hacking doesn't have to know anything about binary, etc. Keep in mind that hacking is illegal. We were talking about my case, and I mentioned a guy named Brian Tennis, who was the half brother of the last owner of my home, Mike Lawhon. Mike died the week before the 2008 oil show started at 27 years old. Now that's real coincidental, since in the backyard it's believed there's an underground home where they're having oil show parties. Okay, so I call him one of the oil show party murders, along with the girl that I was told that was murdered at the 2010 oil show party. Anyway, I found evidence which has convinced me that he was killed here and taken to his mom's house in Fort Worth. His mom was the late Susan Tennis that used to work at the country club here and also worked for Clayton Williams when he had a private club. Mike Lawhon and Brian Tennis's sister, Susan Magana, called me after seeing that I'd found Kansas City Chiefs cap under the cabinet from where I was shot, and she tells me that Brian was a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. She just offered up this information as a clue. The sister did. I have reason to believe this ball cap was left there after I was shot and left by the people who were covering up this hidden trapdoor entrance. Okay. I also spoke with Brian Tennis online, and he told me about a confrontation between him and Mike before Mike died, which had a gun involved. Susan had told me that a gun was fired here and that Mike was arrested for it, and they then declared him delusional. This seems to be very common to silent citizens reporting crimes here in this area. It happened to me and the woman that was raped after reporting people in the attic. Actually, 3 women have told me they were drugged and raped after reporting people in the attic. I wondered if Mike had reported people in the attic, but the city of Midland won't allow me to see the police reports for my own home before I moved here. I suspect they have incriminating information on them. I was told that he was telling his friends about people breaking into this home. Anyway, here's the whole point of all that. Jerry, the hacker, tells me that Brian Tennis's phone number was on Detective Rosie Rodriguez's phone. I don't know how she knew this, and I wondered if she'd hacked into her phone. Another piece of information that she told me was that the guy running the DEA over Odessa was responsible for moving all the drugs in Odessa. I'm sure she told me his name, but I don't remember it now. If that's true, then I suspect that could get you killed too. And my guess is she found out using that hacking software. She told me that somebody had been going through her trash and she believed that somebody was stalking her. Since I don't know what happened to her, I wonder if she had found out some information and she was silenced for it. I felt like now was the time to say something. Rest in peace, my sweet friend Jerry. Okay. And so here I'm going to just go over. I put this. This was a first responder request. This is where I requested from the city of Midland information, all the police reports for my home before I moved here. When I suspect Mike Lawson was murdered here and taken to Fort Worth, and that's where the city of Midland denied it. Okay, this is the obituary for Mike Lawson, 27 years old. Like I said, he died the the week before the 2008 oil show started. He's married to Susan or Sarah Buchanan. They had 2 sons. Let's see what else. Susan Tennis is the mom. Here's Susan Magana, and you see them names. Brian Tennis is on there. Okay, and also what I've showed many times, that the neighbor Marilyn DeLucia told me twice Mike died in this house. Okay, twice she told me, but his death certificate says he died in Fort Worth. The Odessa American posted one death notice on the 14th, said he died in Fort Worth, and 4 days later they posted a second death notice and changed the location of death to say he died at his residence, confirming what Marilyn told me, that he died here. So I've long suspected that Mike was killed here and taken to Fort Worth. Okay, keep in mind the next week the oil show party was started. Here's an extremely rude message from one of the family members, Barbara Pickering, right here. And here she's telling me I need psychiatric help. And that right there is the first sign of somebody that's involved in the crimes here. Because remember, I'm the guy that's identified 50 other homeowners reporting people in the attic after being shot with burglar alarms going off in my attic. So Barbara Pickering is a suspect. I believe she knows something about this house, the underground homes, maybe what happened to Mike. Here is the message from Brian Tennis, the half brother of Mike Lawson, right here. And he's the one sitting me. Yeah, Susan doesn't know what she's talking about. My brother choked his wife with a rifle and then had to be talked down by me from committing suicide. He was arrested after that. He never fired a weapon in the home. Okay, so he was calling Susan a liar, basically. His sister that offered up and let me know that Brian Tennis was a big Kansas City Chiefs fan. Okay. This is Susan Tennis, the mother of Mike Lawson, and she died in 2016, okay, of cancer, okay. You can see she worked for the Petroleum Club, the Plaza Club, the Green Tree Country Club, ended at the Colonial Club in Fort Worth, where she's a banquet manager. And she also worked, I believe, the Plaza Club. That was Clayton Williams' private club. Okay, here we go. This picture here, I was taken on the first day I looked at the home. This is my realtor, and I was showing the back door. I was shot right where she's standing, and it's showing the doorknobs there. 28 days later, the doorknob's gone. Somebody kicked in that door. In between that time, October 1st, October 28th, Mike Lawson died. I suspect his killers kicked in this door and then chased him down, gave him a shot of that rare poisoning of that Darvocet. Okay, and then there was 2, as I'm showing here, there's 2 death notices for him in 2 different places. One says it's at his residence. The other one said in Fort Worth at his mom's house. And then Jerry's obituary. Okay, so I guess we're back. I just thought y'all would find that interesting. I think there's some clues here if we could ever find some real law enforcement. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.